Yeah, I guess some people walk the dog, some people walk the camera. I've got on my new boots from Aldi. Cost me €12. And really, they're the boots to be seen with. But Peter OToole wouldn't be seen in these boots dead. Oh, sorry about that, Peter. So it's been a very good year, actually. No serious diseases, touch wood. No serious happenings. Everyone's relatively healthy. And, what more can you ask for, really? So I built myself a nice little fireplace for tonight. I just light a little fire in the garden and drink some beer and watch the fireworks go off. Been a bit of a fuddy-duddy this year because I haven't bothered buying any fireworks. Just a little topic here. I think I've talked about Peter OToole on video already, probably on the bike ride video. But I was looking at an interview with Peter OToole, and he said the book that most influenced his life was a book by Jack London called Martin Eden. So I went on the internet and downloaded a free copy of that because it's an old book and it's out of copyright. And I've read a few Jack London books and I like them. I think George Orwell was heavily influenced with Jack London. But yeah, he said that was his favourite book, so I went and downloaded it and had a read of it, and it was really good. And kind of in a way you could imagine it was almost Peter O'Toole's life, about the working class kid who bettered himself and read all the books and found out that he could still play pretty well in society and keep up with everyone and even be more successful than everyone else. So that's an interesting book if you ever want to read it. And as books do, they send you on to the next book. And in the Jack London book, Martin Eden, he gets into a lot of philosophical writers, and one of the guys he starts reading is Herbert Spencer. And that's another one you can download online and it's free. And that one's, it's a bit heavy going, that one, but also quite interesting. Some interesting stuff about religion and mysticism, stuff like that, and how it all fits in with science. I've noticed a lot of people on the internet who I sort of follow sometimes. I'm not saying I follow them, but people I look at sometimes, people who are usually academics and they do clever stuff. And it seems like quite a lot of them are antinatalists. And I can't understand the concept of the antinatalist. They're basically people who say there's so much suffering in life that it's not worth living because you've got to endure the suffering, and the good points don't outweigh the bad points of being alive. That's just one way. I just cannot understand these people, the antinatalists, because in a way I think they've got no sense of beauty, because maybe if you look up into the stars or into a beautiful sunset, or you look at something beautiful and you kind of say to yourself, God, I'm glad I'm alive to see that. Well, that's the way my mind works, and it must be a different set of circuits in the head for people who are antinatalists, who say life should have never have been. Reminds me of Gollum when he says, I do not want it to be, I do not want it to be. And if you don't have it to be, then It's nothing, is it? Is the grass, are the trees still there if there's nobody to observe them type thing? So I'll never understand that point of the anti-net list. So yeah, it's been not a bad year really, and I'm quite looking forward to 2014. Getting old is a drag though, you know, when bits and pieces of your body start giving up. I ate a pineapple the other day and I was a bit greedy, and pineapples are one of them things I don't often buy because not many people eat it in our house. And I bought one at Christmas time and it was starting to looking a bit past its sell-by date. So waste not, want not. I didn't want to throw it onto the compost. So I ate it all up. Well, I ate half of the pineapple. And then my lips started feeling really funny. And they started bleeding then. All around my lips here were bleeding. So I had to look on Google quick. And it's a well-known thing. They've got some chemical in there called bromicides, or I can't think it was bromicides. And they can digest meat. It's in kiwis, the same material. And so basically it starts to digest the cell walls of your bodily cells. So the pineapple was digesting my lips as I was eating it. And they all started bleeding all around there. So I think I'll give pineapples a miss for a while. So we'll have one more shot of that sun up there and carry on walking, I think. Because this place is not very good for filming in here. Yeah, but it takes all kinds, doesn't it, to make a world, and that's one thing that I'm guilty of myself, is judging other people by how I think, whereas there's lots of different ways of looking at things, and that's one thing I try and remember. And I started up a Facebook side, not with my real name, just Gary Entropy, sort of, to carry on from the YouTube thing, because the comments thing is pretty useless in YouTube now. And I thought it might be a bit more connection possibility with Facebook, but I don't like it. I feel like a peeping Tom on Facebook, because you get all these sort of information about everything that people are doing and all these photos and what are they doing with their lives. And I don't feel comfortable with it, looking into other people's lives like that. I feel like I'm rummaging through the photo drawer. So I don't think it's my thing, Facebook. There's something about it that I find a bit pernicious. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it might seem a bit strange, some of the videos that I do, because I'm always kind of wandering around alone, empty black forest, or just wandering around these paths. But I've always been a bit of a loner. It's true, I must say. When I was 12 years old, I got my first bicycle, and I'd be off on the bicycle every day on my own in the Yorkshire Dales. And I used to really enjoy that walk, driving on bike up in the Yorkshire Dales on my own. And then when I was around sort of 17, I went down to Greece. I didn't go on my own. Yeah, I did go on my own actually. But I ended up bumming around Europe for quite a while, and I wasn't always on my own, but I often was. So I kind of like my own company in a way. And maybe that means something. I don't know what it means. Oh yeah, I know where I'm going now. I was talking about that Facebook thing, and you can't really know that many people. I remember reading years ago that a person can only interact with about 100 people, which corresponds to a small tribe or a small village, and there's not enough empathy to go around to really care about more than that sort of close-knit group of 100 people. And we say 25, 30 for your family and another 7, 10 for your best mates, and then your colleagues. So to really care about what people you don't really know on Facebook are doing is sort of kind of goes against the grain for me. Then you get the same thing with your celebrity deaths, don't you? Or, I don't know, Nelson Mandela, politicians' deaths, celebrities' deaths, and you can sort of empathise with it a little bit, but you can't really be sad, can you? If you were sad for everybody who died in the world, there's people dying, thousands of people a second dying, and it's just not on to be sad for that many people. You don't have to think that you're mean or something. There's just no way of, you haven't got the equipment to process that sort of stuff, and it wouldn't be any use to you either, because you'd be a sad old wreck all your time, spending all your time worrying about dying. So you've got to keep perspective, I suppose. That's what it's all about, relativity. They say depression is caused by you've been angry at something. Perhaps you're angry because at yourself for something that happened, or something you did, or something you didn't do. Perhaps if a loved one dies, and afterwards you get depressed, and it's because you're sad naturally, but often depression is anger turned within to yourself, and that might be because you're angry because you didn't go to that meal you could have gone with them a week before they died, or you'd be chastising yourself for something that you said years ago to them and you wished you hadn't said. And basically what you're doing is beating yourself up. And I always find that people who are susceptible to depression are often quite nice people, because they care a bit too much, or they're conscientious people. Because I guess if you're just a real selfish person and you don't care about anything but yourself, you never get depressed, and that's because you're not really an emphatic person in my mind. So, like, even if you do get depressed, realise that even that's got a good side as well, because at least you care about something. Yeah, you get people who are depressed because of the state of the world, because of wars, about what's happening in poor countries, child labour, all the bad stuff that's going on in the world. People get depressed about that because they get angry about it, because they don't want to see what's happening in this world, because it brings them down too much, because they care, and that's why they get depressed. So maybe I was wrong before about what I said about the antinatalists. Maybe the antinatalism is another form of depression, because they care about people suffering. But I think it's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, literally being an antinatalist, because if there's no one if there's no one there, does it all exist? Of course it does. It's been proven that it does. But if there's no one to admire the beauty, then is there any beauty? Yeah, there's a name for that. I think it's solipsism. I know O'Brien gives Winston a bollocking about it when he's torturing him in 1984. So that's it for 2013. I'm going to go home now and make some dinner, and then get the fire going and have a few beers and watch the fireworks. And I wish you all a great New Year's Eve, and don't lose your happy thoughts, and things can only get better, because at the end of the day we're all going the same place. Never mind, we can live with it. You, me, Bobby McGee, Have a great day.